So we've sold 300 million Fire TVs globally. That's a big footprint.
Yeah.
That's a lot of customers, a lot of valuable Amazon customers who are logged into their devices that brands can talk to. We found that on average, it takes customers 6 minutes to find what they want to watch.
My wife's already in bed at this point. She's given up.
Right, exactly.
The kids have left the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, to be clear, our job is to get customers into content they want to enjoy quickly. She knows me. She knows my family. She has our schedule. So on Sunday night, we're going through a checklist of what I need for the boys for the week. And oh my gosh, what day is, karate? I can't even remember. And she's like, don't worry about it. You don't have to send the stuff until Tuesday, right? These are the kind of conversations I'm having with her.
This week on Next to Media, we've got a special episode recorded live at Amazon Unboxed in Nashville, Tennessee. I chatted with Charlotte Maines, who heads up device advertising on Amazon. Charlotte and I talked about where things stand with advertising on Fire TV, the latest on Shoppable CTV, and the company's big plans for brands and Alexa Plus. Lots to get into, so let's get started. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Next to Media. I'm Mike Shields. My guest this week is Charlotte Maines. She's the head of device advertising at Fire TV. Charlotte, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, the pleasure is mine.
This is exciting. We are live in Nashville at Unboxed 2025. I've not done a lot of remote podcasts, so I'm kind of thrilled to have you here. I want to ask you about, we love the streaming wars and the OS wars in this industry. I think the OS wars in terms of advertising are maybe less understood. Can you kind of talk about the overall Fire TV strategy and the advantage that you have there in terms of ad sales?
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about Fire TV and the fact that we do own and operate, or have a full business, own and operate our OS, the advantage that it gives us is that we're really able to deliver and oversee the customer experience from, frankly, the moment they buy their device, and certainly from the moment they turn it on and are, looking for content they want to enjoy. So we've sold 300 million Fire TVs globally. That's a big footprint.
Yeah.
That's a lot of customers, a lot of valuable Amazon customers who are logged into their devices that brands can talk to. And when I think about the advantage that offers for advertisers and for Amazon overall in terms of our full funnel story and the results that we're able to deliver is, think about it. Every time a customer turns on their Fire TV or turns on their TV and they have a Fire TV, then they are now embarking on the journey of what do they want to watch.
Right.
And
that homepage is almost like the old portals, like the Yahoo of the old days. There's just a huge fire hose every day.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. And then not only is every customer seeing it, but I mean, just put yourself on your couch on a Friday night with your kids, your wife, right? What do you want to watch? You are a captive audience with your remote or using your voice to navigate around and literally pick that next thing you're going to watch. We found that on average, it takes customers 6 minutes to find what they want to watch. Now, some customers...
My wife's already in bed at this point. She's given up.
Right, exactly.
The kids have left the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, to be clear, our job is to get customers into content they want to enjoy quickly. So if you know what you want to watch, we don't want to get in the way.
Right.
But if you really are on a discovery journey, we want to make sure we're surfacing content you might want to watch. Some of that content might be sponsored. But in addition, for brands, that is truly 6 minutes that you can get in front of a customer, whether they go on to watch content that has ads in it or not.
Right.
So that from the, sort of the owned and operated perspective is incredibly valuable. And then on top of it, by owning the customer experience, we are able to ensure that we are driving the CX that delivers great outcomes for advertisers.
Right. So initially, a lot of that, this is still pretty new category, and we always want to try and figure out where to put it, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of the advertising, it seems, was driven by tune-in advertising, movie streaming services. I'm sure that was probably the case earlier for you. Is that evolving over time? Because we want to get to a place where that's like the new ad hub and shopping and all those things. But what's it look like, that evolution?
Yeah. So certainly when we started, so I was on the team that founded the Fire TV advertising business back in 2018, and originally it was just a great way for HBO to put Game of Thrones in front of a customer, right? Like that's something people want to watch, and so let's make sure that we provide our partners a way to get great content in front of customers, and that's where we began. But what we discovered, both just from seeing the super powerful results that these media and entertainment advertisers were able to attain on Fire TV, as well as connected TV, more and more advertising budget shifting from linear to connected TV. So we're like, this is also a way to, through product updates like sequential storytelling or retargeting or just the incremental reach that we offer by, again, being in the UI versus a customer having to go into an app. We're like, this is this is a great discovery experience for a video ad asset that brands would want to, get in front of customers, not just media partners.
So at that point in 2018, you probably figure out who do I talk to? Where's the budget going to come for this? I imagine that's changed over time too.
Completely. Yeah. Now it's just like, here, you're going to buy a streaming TV ad buy. That's great. But let me tell you how to get 1.9 times the incremental reach of that buy. Attach Fire TV.
To the same buyer, same advertiser.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about, there's a lot of excitement around, in general, shoppable TV, it's coming. There's a lot of experimentation. That real estate seems very well suited for that. Talk to me about what you're doing there and then how it might connect with Alexa and Alexa Plus. What's going on there?
Yeah.
There's a lot in that question.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, of course, being Amazon, we're always thinking about how to help brands, who are Amazon partners get in front of customers in an authentic way. And certainly there's a lot of, sponsored search and traditional ads like that. But then again, with TV, with Alexa, these are these engaging surfaces that allow for both, sort of display assets, kind of like static creative, more akin to a typical sponsored ad, but then also the video asset.
Right.
So it's a really rich experience. And then when you pair that with the deep engagement that our customers have with these devices, it's a really natural story. So for example, with Alexa, and particularly now that we've launched Alexa Plus, which is...
Does everybody know what Alexa Plus is? We probably should cover that.
Yeah, that's a great call. So Alexa Plus, many people, many of the listeners, I'm sure, have been using Alexa for years. Alexa, what's the weather? Alexa, turn on lights. Well, now with Alexa Plus, just forget about old Alexa, aside from her, sort of delightful intonation. She is now an LLM-powered agentic AI experience. So, think of any other, sort of GenAI or LLM solution you might use. That is what Alexa is. And we offer her on both our audio-only devices, but also our Echo devices, where there's both a visual and audio component. Right. And so you're able to participate in these very engaging conversations with her for things like planning a trip, right? And the results come back and, you can sort of have this dialogue that includes images.
We talk about conversational search. This is the version of that with voice.
Exactly. And so, and I guess just speaking for myself, because I've been using Alexa Plus for a really long time now, it's a game changer. Like not only can, she help with things like planning a trip or travel or that sort of thing, but just in terms of because of her deep connections with all of my Amazon, sort of how I use Amazon.
All your touch points, yeah.
She knows me, she knows my family, she has our schedule. So like, on Sunday night, we're going through a checklist of what I need for the boys for the week. And like, oh my gosh, what day is, karate? I can't even remember. And she's like, don't worry about it. You don't have to send the stuff until Tuesday, right? Like these are the kind of conversations I'm having with her. And you can imagine that there's a lot of moments for brands to be part of that and really authentically connect in these much more, considered and specific moments than just sort of let me just, kind of target a demographic.
Okay. So when it comes to, do we want to connect the dots to, no pun intended, connect to TV? Because there's the shopping opportunity during watching programming, right? Everyone's trying lots of different ad types there. Then there's the shopping opportunity on the homepage of the operating system. I think people wonder how that's going to play out. Do you think Alexa is going to be super tied into that? Is it going to be voice-driven, remote, something else? Mm-hmm. Do we know yet? It's like there's so many different directions it can go.
Yeah, I mean, the way with the products that we have live today around shopping on Alexa and Fire TV, they're very much voice first. And so anything that you could do on an Alexa device, you can do on a Fire TV. Maybe you need to activate your remote with your speak into your remote, but we're not limiting it to requiring remotes to click around to do, shopping engagement behaviors. We have the ability for you to add to cart or purchase directly from the TV using the remote or your voice. And so it's certainly something that we want to be sure that we're offering advertisers and that we're making it easy. But I think at the same time, we also recognize that being able to shop on your phone is very powerful. The Amazon app is, a fantastic app. We all use it all the time. And so it's also about offering brands the opportunity to drive awareness and to drive intention and we see a lot of KPIs where there's things like higher downstream consideration. And so we have a number of case studies that we've put together around partners like Nissan or Defender, autos is popular, Coca-Cola, where they're seeing significant lift in terms of these core metrics, right, from doing these sort of awareness campaigns in Fire TV and Alexa.
So getting back to Fire TV, like I'm sure it's been all over the place in terms of tactics and metrics that matter. What are you seeing from some of these newer advertisers? Is it mostly an awesome reach vehicle? Are they looking at different kinds of downstream metrics? And then I imagine the creative is evolving as well.
Yeah. So I think one of the things, just to be clear on or reiterate, is that when you turn on your TV, and for a brand who is advertising in the Fire TV UI, we have this hero placement. We call it the feature rotator, and it takes up, sort of the top half of your screen, and it actually
big real estate push.
Exactly, and it expands and auto plays a video. So first of all, just in terms of the richness of the ad unit itself, it both takes the streaming TV commercial that a brand has already developed, right, for their, to run in stream, but then it pairs with it, kind of their hero shot, their static display creative, the movie poster style.
Yep.
Both of those assets are part of the experience. And again, it auto plays, so you're capturing a customer, sort of even if they go on to watch ad-free SVOD, right? And so just in terms of like that experience, that is really something that is driving some of these brand awareness lift that we're seeing. That
customer that you can't reach for
that downstream consideration. But then tactically, we are also seeing that, again, because of the way that we're able to interact with every customer, we are seeing that it's 1.9 time incremental reach for a streaming TV ad buy, and 1.7 times for a Prime Video ad buy. So you're truly talking to customers that you are not talking to with your in-stream ads.
Reaching the right audience on streaming TV takes more than guesswork. It takes intelligence, and Sabio delivers. Sabio is redefining what it means to be a modern media company, where data, technology, and creator-driven content work together to deliver real results at scale. At its core is AppScience, the only company building audience segments for mobile and CTV behavioral data, reaching over 70% of the U.S. streaming households. How do you activate Sabio? Sabio is platform agnostic, meaning you can run campaigns through your preferred DSP, or tap into Sabio's proprietary platform. With its owned and operated creator television network, Sabio unites media, data, and culture, giving brands a direct line to engaged, authentic audiences. Sabio's full-stack approach from ad serving to audience insights to creator content brings every piece of the media puzzle together, so campaigns don't just perform better, they connect deeper. Reach modern audiences with Sabio, the media company built for how people stream, watch, and connect. Learn more at SabioCTV.com. That's SABIOCTV.com. Okay, huge theme here in the last year or so with Amazon for sure. We're full funnel. We're not just, if you think of us as a retail media player or a bottom funnel, no, there's a lot. We have so many different pieces. How does like Fire TV, Alexa Plus, all these things kind of come together and help kind of pull together that full funnel strategy and knowing person in all these different stages?
Yeah. Well, I think, and Paul was articulating it again this morning. The key is that because of Amazon's touch points across customers' lives, you are truly able to meet all of your objectives advertising through Amazon. And the way we're going to do that for advertisers is leverage all of those touch points, of which devices is a huge part. I mean, just think about it at your home, I'm sure. I mean, not to just assume you're an Amazon customer.
We have a Fire TV.
I'm going to assume you're an Amazon customer. Good. You have a Fire TV?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have a lot of TVs, but we definitely have a Fire TV.
Well, when you were saying back to me the experience of the feature rotator, I was like, he's definitely, he does it. Yeah. Excellent. So anyway, but think about it, right? Like at least at my house, multiple times a day, at your house may be the same if you've got 3 kids, the Amazon package showing up on the doorstep, right?
Yep.
Captured in the Ring doorbell. Customers go inside. They spend an average of 4.2 hours a day watching Fire TV in the U.S. Hours and hours are spent listening to audio on Alexa devices as well as engaging with the screened Echo devices. Right. This is just an opportunity to converse with and participate in customers' lives and their homes in a way that nobody else can offer. And that is through our devices uniquely.
So do you think of over time, we're talking about using that home screen ad as like, a big splashy unit that everybody sees. Depending on the brand and the category, you'll know a lot about where people are in their funnel journey and be able to show them the right ad and whether they're on the OS versus the podcast versus whatever. Like that's the idea over time.
Yeah. I mean, we already can, pair the ads that you're seeing within Fire TV with a connected TV buy and understand, kind of like, again, retargeting some of that sort of thing, right? So we already within kind of more of the streaming ecosystem are able to turn the dials on that full funnel experience. But you're right. The vision would be that it would be something where, you're like, here's my goals across Amazon. And we just go and figure out where and how to deliver it across all of those surfaces in a way that has the most efficient and pronounced reach and sort of your core KPIs realized.
Okay, got to talk about AI. Obviously, it's a mandate for every podcast I do, but it's also a big theme here, and it's coming to the foreway in a lot of different places. But in television, it's sort of been fits and starts, or there's a lot of TV advertising is still bought and sold direct and through direct IOs. That's changing, and then there's a hesitancy for some brands to go crazy with creative on TV this early. Where do you see? That's a big question again. Where are things headed with connected TV and AI in your view?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, you're absolutely right. The GenAI is becoming foundational for certainly all of the work on our product roadmap, right? And even looking back at this point, a couple of years in, there's a lot that we've already been able to unlock using that. And I think that what our focus has been is a couple of things. One is we're always looking to improve the end customer experience, because through a better customer experience, of course, we're going to have more engaged customers delivering better outcomes for advertisers. Right. And so we've really been leaning into using that for personalization and relevance of the content and ads that customers are seeing in their experience. And so we've really been able to, kind of pull through with LLM-based models and some of that, and also just the dynamic real-time updates. Customer segments in the old days would take, I don't know, they could take 48 hours to update, right? And even just pedantic things like that.
Clicking, trying to manipulate things to change.
Exactly. Campaigns. So now it's like, well, now everything happens in real time. Oh, and it happens 100 times better. So that's one example. But then separately, from the advertiser perspective, how can we simplify the creative process without, trying to take on the creative controls, if you will? Like, we are not in the business of trying to develop and tell your story. We're in the business of taking the story that you, advertiser, have crafted and created and making it very easy to turn into assets that can be run on our devices. Right. In Alexa Audio, for example, we have a new tool in using GenAI where an advertiser who has products on Amazon can literally provide the product, we call it NASEN, product detail, and they can provide that. They can provide, sort of guidance like tone and tone of voice of the speaker and kind of any core message they want to land. Press submit, and then we go and scrape their product detail page, which they've written, right? That's not our content, that's theirs. It's coming from them,
insight, knowledge,
scraping customer reviews to see what customers love about the product, pull together, bring in the, the GenAI generated voice, some of the tone, et cetera, and within 30 seconds, they have an audio ad that if you can listen to, and if you like it, you could run it right then, right? Like literally going from having to hire voice talent to a script to this to that to a weeks-long process for an ad that doesn't even have visual components to it, and now literally in seconds.
So do you think, and again, it's really early, do you think we're going to see is the more experimentation, or are the small guys going to be more daring, or do you think the big brands are going to take advantage of all these tools? They've got the precious messages and the approval processes that are a little bit different. What do you think it's going to look like?
Yeah, we're seeing both for sure. I mean, absolutely, the quote little guys where just creative was such a barrier just from a pure, like, I mean, they don't have creative teams, they don't have. And so it just went from being something where they'd have to outsource and pick and choose and this and that. Now it's just like, oh no, like, I mean, their uptake of that audio tool, for example, is incredible. Wow. But what we've also seen is that for kind of the bigger brands that do have creative teams and do have, the precious core messages that they work very hard on, these are also very enabling because, while they may have some of those, sort of managed service relationships and kind of the go big activations, which we support on Fire TV and I can talk about in a second. But they also have an incredibly large part of their marketing budget dedicated to programmatic and self-service. Because that's the way, again, on their end, how they're going to participate in the full funnel most efficiently. And so from that perspective, this is something where, again, they appreciate that we're not trying to take over kind of the creative aspect. We're just basically, you meet us where you are with the message you've created, and we'll just make it easier from there.
All right. As we kind of sum things up here, what do you want to, what should brands take away from Unbox, particularly from a device perspective? What's the big message or a couple key takeaways for the audience?
Yeah. Well, I think at this point, our team between Upfronts, Unboxed, and everywhere in between, I think we've done a good job of sort of landing that. Amazon offers a very comprehensive full funnel solution for advertisers. And I think it's just understanding how critical devices is to delivering on that. And again, it's a combination of things. It is just the amount of engagement that we have with customers, logged in Amazon customers, valuable majority prime customers in their homes. And then it is the incremental experiences that devices can provide beyond, more typical sponsored search and that sort of thing. So that's both in-stream TV commercials, but then it's also, sort of, again, the retargeting and the ability to capture outside of the in-stream TV commercials and that captive sort of time that customers are engaging with their devices before they go in and start watching content. And then it's how we are able to, with these unique experiences like Alexa Plus, we're really able to offer incremental, sort of unique to industry, unique to marketplace solutions, whether it's, using GenAI and the LLM power of Alexa Plus, who is the industry's first ad opportunity in an agentic AI experience.
Yeah.
Or in the case of Fire TV, you've got this takeover, hero, feature rotator experience. And then, kind of to the point of some of those brands that are really investing in creative and really investing in messaging, we can create custom experiences that really engage customers. Like, for example, we were able to do a custom execution where customers were actually able to use the remote and design a car. So they were able to pick, sort of the interior color, the exterior color, et cetera. And then it resolved in a QR code that then just sent them directly to the auto manufacturer's website with those configurations already in place.
That's pretty wild.
So it's just sort of an example of how we can deliver the full spectrum, anywhere from, sort of product typical sponsored ads that show up on the Alexa home screen all the way through to these custom executions on Fire TV and Alexa Plus.
I feel bad for old Alexa. She's been cast aside. I hope she's got some kind of useful future ahead.
She was the inspiration for Alexa Plus. Yes.
To pioneer.
Yes.
Charlotte, awesome stuff. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for doing this, and let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks again to my guest this week, Amazon Charlotte Maines, and my partners at Elemental TV and Sabio. If you like this episode, please take a moment to rate and leave a review. Lots more to bring you, so please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time for more on What's Next in Media. Thanks for listening.